Welcome to Life Pebbles. Learn about yourself and others. Are you trigger happy with text messages? While it's a fun and spontaneous type of communication with your friends, certain texting sins can make or break a new relationship with a guy. It's truly amazing how just a few little words on a screen, or too many, can evoke a series of negative emotions, from boredom to annoyance to outright anger. That's not to say you shouldn't be free to express how feel. Of course you can and you should, but it does pay to be mindful of how you come across without the benefit of body language and tone of voice. Also, it's never a good idea to bring up important issues in a text just because you don't feel confident to do it face to face. So before you spend precious minutes rereading sentences, rethinking emojis, deleting, and agonizing over your next message, check out the top 10 cringy texts men hate getting from women. Number 1. Entertain me texts. When you are sitting at home, bored, and looking for some entertainment, think carefully. Before you text your new date something like, "Hey, what are you doing?" While he might respond, chances are it will be with something just as basic because you haven't put any effort in. Rather than expect him to come running to save you from boredom, if you are going to text at all, you might as well show some of that sparkling wit, intelligence, or humor he likes you for. If you send texts with no thought, chances are he'll be too bored to even read them. Number 2, rapid fire texts. Don't send one word per message. This particular texting sin is a bad habit that you need to deal with, no matter who you are sending multiple texts to. No one wants to feel their phone vibrate or go off at work 20 times in a row with messages from the same person. It's not cute and it's not funny. The very simple fix is to send him one message in a sentence or a short paragraph. That way, you reduce the risk of him throwing his phone at the wall in a moment of sheer annoyance and blaming you for the cracked screen. Number 3, overly long texts. On the flip side, don't send him a 2,000-word essay on 10 different topics. Save the essays for college assignments, or just talk about what you want to say in person. Your years of college working on dragging out topics is not a skill that needs to be practiced in men. More than likely, he'll only scan a novel-sized message, therefore missing any important bits. Or he'll glimpse it and put the phone straight back in his pocket. The chances of him getting back to you anytime soon are therefore pretty slim. So once again, sum it up in 1 or 2 sentences. Number 4, passive-aggressive texts. Passive-aggressive behavior is incredibly hard to deal with in person, let alone via text. For example, if you are mad at him and he texts to ask you out for dinner, resist responding with one word, answers like "K, dunno" or "nope." Sure, he is going to get the point that you are ticked off, but it doesn't mean he knows why. Men aren't mind readers, and he will probably just shake his head at the phone in confusion, rather than write you back asking what's wrong. Be open and honest if you have an issue, and either call him or arrange a time to catch up so you can let him know what it is in person. Number 5, I have no life texts. So you sent a text at lunchtime on Friday asking what your guy is up to on the weekend. It's now early evening, and instead of getting ready to go out with the girls, you are sitting on the couch checking your phone every minute. Finally, you've had enough and you text. Are you going to text me back? Can you hear the clingy, needy tone in these words? These types of texts make it sound like you see him as a priority and that your life comes second to him. Given the above example, that's exactly what's happening. A high-value woman isn't waiting around for a man to respond to her text. She is not even thinking about it because she is already out with her friends, doing her own thing, right where she should be. And that is very attractive. Number 6, validate me texts. If a guy is dating you, it stands to reason that he likes you. That being said, it doesn't stop insecurity from creeping up so that you feel like you need validation. Here is where you hide your phone, give it to a friend, or distract yourself so that you are not tempted to send something like, "Do you still want to see me?" Or worse, "Why do you even like me?" Any message that you send to gain some form of security about his feelings for you is a bad message. First of all, insecurity is something that can send the best of men running for the hills. Secondly, but most importantly, it means you are looking for it in all the wrong places. Security and self-esteem come from within, putting it firmly in the arena of your responsibility, not his. Start building self-confidence to be the best you, without the need for external validation. Number 7, relationship status texts. If you don't know what your relationship status is and feel you need to, that's perfectly fine. However, under no circumstances, this is a chat you should have by text. This is one of those uncomfortable issues mentioned before that might seem easier to confront with a screen, but never is. Put yourself in your guy's place for a moment. Say he is at work and receives one of these texts from you. Are we exclusive? There is nothing like a bit of pressure to move things along, right? Wrong. For one, this makes it pretty easy for him to avoid the topic, given you are not in front of him. Or the shock of having to think about it so suddenly, right in the middle of a fantasy about your body last night, might make him back right off. Give him the respect he deserves and ease into the conversation face to face. Number 8, stalker texts. Have you ever been on the other end of stalker texts? As in, your friend tags you in a photo at a restaurant, and a guy you had one date with texts immediately with, "How is the food there?" Feels pretty creepy, doesn't it? You have to wonder if he just happened to see it pop up, or if he is sitting at home stalking your Facebook page. If he is, while it might be flattering for a second, you'll be hitting the unfriend button pretty quickly. If you do this with a guy you've only been dating for a few weeks, more often than not, he'll be wondering if he should get a restraining order. Number 9, the first I love you text. Okay, so everyone can be forgiven for a one-off random drunk text saying the big 3 words, much the same as when you are at a club and say it to a total stranger. Other than that, it certainly takes all the meaning out of such a statement. If you feel like you only have the confidence to say, I love you in a text, chances are you are just not ready to say it at all, so hold back until the time is right. In terms of his response, you also run the risk of no response, or one you'd be better off not having to analyze. When the relationship naturally flows to the point of love, there will be no missing expression, so let it happen in real life. Number 10, breakup texts. Nobody wants to be broken up with by text. It might seem easy to send something like, hey, this isn't working for me. But do you think it's ever the right thing to do? Just reverse the situation and imagine happily sipping your coffee one morning, only to pick up your phone and read, it's over. Taking an easy road means disregarding common decency just because you can. Pick up the phone at the very least, or arrange to see the poor guy. You'll feel much better about yourself and the breakup. Plus, you won't end up in one of those posts. My girlfriend broke up with me with a text. At the end of the day, if you are tossing up whether or not to write something in a text, don't do it. Keep it sweet, simple, and cute. And leave the rest for your off-screen life. Number 1, entertain me texts. Number 2, rapid fire texts. Number 3, overly long texts. Number 4, passive-aggressive texts. Number 5, I have no life texts. Number 6, validate me texts. Number 7, relationship status texts. Number 8, stalker texts. Number 9, the first I love you text. Number 10, breakup texts.